All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. So today's video is on the Tesla Model S. Now, I'm coming up on 1,000 miles with this car, and I wanted to go ahead and share some of my thoughts and experience with it versus driving my Model Y dual motor. So this is in fact a Plaid. If you new to the channel, it is a Plaid. I just have the 19-inch Tempest wheels on here instead of the 21-inch wheels because at some point I'll probably rather pay for my own set of 21s or 20s or whatever I get. But there you go, it is a Plaid. And the driving experience versus the Model Y is completely different. Obviously, this is a larger sedan, but it is still like the hot hatch type car. You see, it's just, I get the full trunk and everything back here, just like the Model Y. So I turned off the feature where it auto opens the trunk. I really got tired of that. I was like, I can't deal with that anymore because I would just get close to it and then it would just start to open up. And I'm like, oh, shoot. But nonetheless, this is my car and I'm rolling up on 1,000 miles. And I was like, man, I got to talk about this car again because what I've run into is there's a lot of previous owners, basically 22 model owners, who they kind of got the short end of the stick, but the market could shift at any time. I bought this car for 85,000 brand new. Some other people bought it for 140, 150. I know people that paid 150. Oh man, ouch. But that was the market at the time when this car wasn't so accessible. It was their new hot thing. You know, they refreshed it in 2022 and, it was just a hotness. So now that, we're years in with a Plaid, um, should you buy one now? Is now a good time to buy? Um, the people who feel like they got shafted by having the higher price. I hear that some of you guys financed that car and some of you guys got a 1.99% interest rate, which I think is pretty good. I missed my video. I think that's a pretty good deal. 2% is great, but on $150,000, is 2% great? Because you're still paying $2,400 a month for the car if you financed it. But if you're at these lower prices like this, like 85, that's like half of the price of the car almost. And you got to wonder, even at like a 4% or whatever, it's still a better deal than a 2% from people that pay that higher price for the car. So my thought on it is, after almost 1,000 miles, yes, I have the latest version. Yes, I have the refreshed front end and everything. There are some people that take the older cars and you can now buy this front end conversion for it. So that is a very nice thing. But I feel like I got a really good deal because I paid 85 for this brand new. And so many people paid 150, 140, 120, 110. They just didn't pay these prices. But what you have to remember is, at that time when you bought your car, those were the prices. This is the market. It fluctuates and you get whatever deal at the time as you think is good. And that's just how it works. The real question is, should you buy one now? Like, there are a lot of people that have been wanting a Plaid, a Model S Plaid, and they're kind of on the fence about it because they feel like the market's going to shift again. Well, I can guarantee you folks, I have no quarrels about buying this car for 85. Yeah, I got a really good deal. But if they were to start selling this car for a Plaid for 80, I wouldn't feel any type of way about it, I guess. I would be a little shook at first, but then, hey, the deals at the time is what they are. So, but it is kind of messed up though that a lot of people paid almost double for this car and they have what's considered like the older generation. Like, they don't have the updated seats or anything like that. So, and not all 24 Plaids, this is the thing about Tesla, they'll announce something and they'll change it right afterwards. I have the performance seat, so this is how you know I have the latest version of this car. This is the only way you'll know that I have the latest version of this car, because they technically all look the same. And the seats flow off into the back as well. They flow off into the back as well. The performance seats flow all the way off into the back. So this is the only way you'd be able to tell, like, okay, Jay has the newer refresh 24 model, because cars built before May, I believe, or before April, a lot of them don't have the refreshed seats, which I think is that's just a part of the game. Car companies, cell phone companies, whatever it is, they can change the rules at any time if they want to. So yeah, I'm fortunate to have the latest one, but that doesn't mean that You know, that they're not going to change it in 6 months. And yeah, I'll look at the market and say, dang, I wish I had waited. But in the end, this happens with everything in life. You're going to have to take a hit on something. You cannot always get the best deal per se, or whatever you consider to be the best deal. So yeah, coming up on 1,000 miles, I've been getting a lot of comments about, man, dang, I paid this for it back then, just 2 years ago. And when I try to trade my car in, it's only worth 75 or 55 or 65. Only thing I can say is when you're buying a car, you need to be buying a car that you're going to be willing to stick with for 5 to 6 years, or the time if you financed it. And even if you didn't finance it, you still need to be willing to stick with it some, because as soon as you drive a car off the lot, it depreciates. Depending on which car, it depreciates by a lot. This car didn't appreciate quickly, but it's just that they dropped the prices because they don't sell a lot of these and they wanted to move more units. So I say, if in fact you have one of these cars and you are indifferent about it because you have a 22 model, or you have one that you paid $150,000 for, $110,000, just let it ride, man. Either you're going to take the hit on it and trade out of it, but I guess, why are you trading out of a Plaid Model S? I mean, what could you go to after this that's a fast EV that's in this price range? Even though you people paid 150,000, 150,000, if you pay like 100 and if you pay 100,000 or more for this car, what cars are actually faster, or what cars are going to be more gratifying that's an EV that can mess with the Plaid in that same price range? There are none. The Sapphire is $250,000. All the cars being compared to this car, saying, oh, the Sapphire beat the Plaid. Well, that car is now triple the price. So it's not worth it. It's not. I don't want to have a Sapphire just to say that I can beat a Plaid, because the reality is, on the road, this car is faster than 99.9% of all cars on the road. It's great quality. I don't have to deal with panel gouts. I didn't see anything that was like real bad on this car that I was like, oh my God, I gotta, Tesla needs to, I'm not taking this, Tesla needs to take this. It's nothing like that. So I think that if you are in the market for a Plaid Model S, I think this is the time to buy, because you're going to get the lowest price possible at the moment, and then you're going to get a good deal. Hopefully you do. I mean, if you're financing it, hopefully you have great credit, and you can afford to pay for the car. And if you're paying cash for it, then you get an even better deal because you're not paying any interest. So with me, comparing this to driving, now let's talk about driving compared to my Model Y. The Model Y, and I think I said it before, it feels like a freaking SUV now. It didn't before, but now it does. Getting in and out of this car, in comparison, um, like the ride height, it definitely feels. I mean, it sits lower. It's a sedan, but I can move this car up higher because I can control the suspension, and it kind of could feel like a Model Y, but it just won't really ever. So as far as comfort goes, believe it or not, on these Tempest wheels, because I have 19s on my Model Y, and on these Tempest wheels, they're just as comfortable as the Model Y. This car floats down the road. Another reason it floats is because it's sitting so low to the ground. That's what it is. The faster you drive in this car, it goes to the lower setting. And when you're driving and just driving regularly, it's going to go to the medium setting. So you can, in fact, drive this car you can set the default to drive at the low setting. Follow me here on Instagram. Follow me there. You can set this car to a low setting, and it'll just drive at the lowest setting whenever you're driving it. But I've heard that there's camber issues because these cars can't be aligned on the rear or something like that. So there's a camber arm that you can buy to help it not wear out your tires. But right now, I'm not having any tire wear. Everything's good with the car. And the comfort and feel in comparison to driving daily to my Model Y, which I still drive the Model Y sometimes, but not daily anymore. This is my daily. Driving the Model Y, in comparison to this is just as comfortable. Even though it's a sedan, it still floats down the road, and I think it's a good look. I really like it. So, yeah, almost 1,000 miles on this car, and I've taken it out of town multiple times. I mean, I've taken this car out of town so many times, it's crazy. It's a comfortable ride. Period. It's a comfortable ride. Now, obviously, performance versus the Model Y, this is worlds faster. This is Tesla's fastest car at the moment. At 2024, recording this video, this is their fastest car. So I'm totally happy with the performance on this thing. I couldn't ask for a more fun takeoff or more better launch. This thing is ridiculous, man. It is just so fast. You just can't believe you're actually going that fast. Even at higher speeds, when you hit it, it's just fast. Now, I've never used this in drag strip mode yet, but I will. I got my helmet and everything. So if you follow me online, you'll see that it's got my new helmet and got my GoPro strapped to it. So I plan on really, doing some things with this car and my Corvette. The Model Y, no, that's the official grocery getter, if you will. But this too, you can grab groceries because of that big trunk area back there, and there's a lot of space back there. So just wanted to follow with you guys at almost 1,000 miles. Like literally, I'm going to be at 1,000 miles probably in the next day or so, or maybe the next 2 days, and it's good. It's real good. I'm totally happy with it. So the color is nice and beautiful. The color has definitely grown on me because it has like the metallic flakes in it when the sun hits it. It's really nice. I have no complaints. See if I can get some of that flake. I probably won't be able to get it. The sun's not out at the moment, thank goodness. But I'm happy with this, folks. This was a good purchase. I do feel some compassion for the people who paid $150,000 for this car. But at the time, a lot of people was flexing, hey, I got a Plaid. I don't know why they didn't think the market would change, but nonetheless, I have a Plaid, and I paid like almost half, less than half, almost half of what certain people paid. So, this car does come with the P0s. I did insure these tires. I suggest the Pirelli P0s. I suggest you head over to Discount Tire and insure your tires. As long as the car is brand new, I think under 500 miles, they'll rate the tires, they'll look at them, and then they'll go ahead and they'll insure them for you. To insure these tires are very expensive. Even though these are 19s, these are P0s. So these Pirelli tires are very expensive. So they're going to run you some cash if you have to replace one. Sometimes if you get a nail on the side or just something goes wrong with it and they can't be replaced, you have to buy, it can't be fixed with a flat, you have to buy a new tire. And so that's why you should insure your tires. But I'm pretty happy with the car so far. No complaints whatsoever. I'm gonna hop inside. Really enjoying these new seats. One second. I like that the seats are cooled. I really like them. And I like that they have the newer design. They're super comfortable. They hug you. It's just a good look. I've never really liked Tesla's HVAC system, so I found myself just putting it on auto, just try kind of cool the car down. But other than that, I mean, somebody asked, do you have to have autopilot or full self-driving to do? I have full self-driving, but it's getting ready to expire, and I'm not paying for it. But somebody asked, do you have to have full self-driving to have the feature where you put it at auto drive and auto reverse? No, you do not. No, you do not. You do not need that. I really enjoyed the steering wheel versus the yoke. I was supposed to put a yoke in here, but I was like, I don't think I want to do it. So I do have a Cybertruck steering wheel that I'm supposed to be putting in the Model Y, but it'll also work in this car. Don't know if I want to do that either. I like just this regular semi-flat bottom steering wheel. And it's just a good look, man. I genuinely like this car. It rides great. I have no complaints so far, and I'm genuinely overall it's great. So follow up at almost 1,000 miles for those people out there that paid 150,000 or just over 100,000 for it. Don't fret, man. At the time, you got whatever the deal was that Tesla was offering. You got it. So see that temperature, right? Oof. But it feels like 110, I think it is. But you know what? I'm excited for everybody who's able to experience this car. If you've never experienced the Model S Plaid or just any of the Model X Plaid, if I ever run into you, I'll take you for a ride. That's about the best I can do. Yeah, it's about the best I can do because it's so hard to put into words how beautiful and how fast this car is. It's ridiculous. And that's why only reason a person would probably buy the Plaid really over the Model S, like the regular Model S. The only reason to get the Plaid over the Model S is you want the performance. You're paying an extra $15,000 for performance. That's the only reason you would get this car over the Model S. Like, what other reason would you get it for? It's the same car. It's just a little slower. That's it. I mean, you don't have these performance seats or whatever, but still, you don't need the performance seats technically if you're not doing any kind of performance. So with that said, I'm happy with my purchase. Yeah, again, I paid $85 for this car. I think it was well worth it because I have a very nice, luxurious car. It's quick. I can get groceries. I don't pay for any fuel. And it's really nice to drive daily. I really like it. It's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed. See, my suspension is sitting at low still. I put it to low. I was driving in low. It'll raise back up to medium, but then sometimes I'll just set it back to low because I like to feel as low to the ground as possible. But there it is, man. If you're wondering what I used to record this video, it is the Pixel 9 Pro XL for all my tech heads out there. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.